You know, I actually like Claptrap.
Oh, finally! Quick, shove that wheel in my well! I've been showing my bare axle for too long.
Borderlands 4, it's out, it's here, you can play it. I've been playing it for the last several weeks, and the conclusion that I came to as I was playing it the whole time is that this game is very safe. It's basically exactly what you expect from Borderlands. It's the same experience we've been having for the last several decades. There are a lot of improvements, specifically based on the feedback from 3. They've toned down the humor quite a bit so it's not so obnoxious. They've also made a lot of gameplay changes based on player feedback. There's also new stuff as well. There's new traversal mechanics. It's technically open world now. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, it is more Borderlands. Borderlands. And so you might be asking yourself, well, wait a minute, is that like a good thing or like a bad thing? And that's a great question, because that is basically what I was trying to process myself while I was playing it. Because when you hear playing it safe, I do think there can be a negative stigma to that phrase. It means that the game didn't try and elevate itself. The devs played it safe. It's not new enough. I've played this before. And I think we also can have a tendency to value new experiences, especially myself as somebody whose job it is to play lots and lots of games. You tend to seek newer experiences, things like your Expedition 33s or your Silk Song, something that feels fresh and exciting. So hearing that Borderlands 4 is just more Borderlands doesn't necessarily get me initially very excited. But on the flip side, safe can be comforting. There is a joy in experiencing something that you know what it's going to be. Having a reliable experience that just gives you exactly what you want. You turn on Columbo because you want Columbo. You know what it's gonna be. You turn on Law and Order because you want Law and Order. You play Borderlands because you like Claptrap.
There's no cure for claptrap fever, baby. But if you want a clean install, there's an order base nearby that has just what we need.
I'm sure this is helped a lot by my personal nostalgia for the franchise, but I also think a lot of this has to do with sort of the tumultuous state of everything, video game industry included, and that playing something that it's just reliable, I know what I'm gonna get. Again, there's a comfort to that. When you talk about safety, I'm also kind of referring to, I think, all the things that Borderlands 4 doesn't do. It's really easy to imagine an alternate universe where Borderlands as a franchise went down and engaged in all of the worst trends of modern gaming. It could have become a live service game in the, like a Destiny or something. It could have had gacha mechanics for the loot boxes. And I'm not saying that Borderlands 4 doesn't engage in some monetization. They have things like, free updates for endgame stuff. They're gonna have paid expansions. But it's very, it's simple. It's a known quantity. You know what you're gonna get. It's a game that you can start that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you can put it down and feel like you had a complete experience. And boy, is that sometimes a rarity. On some level, this is maybe rose-colored tinted glasses to the good old days of 2010? That's kind of weird to think about. But I do think there is something to this trend of games kind of going back to what they were before and being a little simpler. And in fact, 2K seems to be a leading example of this trend because they also did it this year with another game with Mafia: The Old Country. Mafia: The Old Country is a 10-hour, single-player, story-based game. It's linear as all heck. It reminds me of games, again, back in the 2010 era. It knows exactly what it is. It's brief, it's to the point. It wasn't anything incredible, but it was very comforting. And it gave me exactly what I was looking for. And that is exactly how I also feel about Borderlands 4. So this brings up a larger question. Is this just nostalgia? Is this fan pandering? Is it developers just playing it safe in a turbulent games market? Or is it an understanding that maybe the simpler way games used to be made like works, and that there's an audience that like craves that and just wants something simple and comfortable and familiar. To be honest, the answer is probably a combination of these factors, and it depends on the game. But I appreciate that Borderlands 4 has given me exactly what I needed in this moment. I don't know if this game is gonna like stick with me in the long term, if it's gonna like remember as one of like my favorite games of all time, but it is exactly what I'm looking for right now, and I think that is pretty valuable in and of itself. But that's just my opinion of the game. If you're looking for our formal in-depth review, you should go check out Jordan Remaze. It's over on the YouTube channel and the site, where he talks all about the game. I will give you fair warning, it is a little buggy. That's like the one thing I didn't like about the game. I think it could use some patches. So hopefully they clean that up. But otherwise, pretty good. Again, Claptrap. Thumbs up. Not bad.